So I constantly get asked what the most attractive traits are about each of the attachment styles. So in this video, I'm going to cover the five most commonly referred to as attractive traits about the anxious preoccupied attachment style. And if you wait around to the end, I'll talk to you a little bit about some key features that are important to also keep in mind when dating as an anxious preoccupied. So, first and foremost, anxious preoccupied individuals often have this amazing ability to really charm people and win them over. And a big part of this comes from the fact that they are conditioned to try to get their needs met externally through the entire course of their lives. So, in other words, they are consistently hyper focused on their ability to connect with others. It's almost like they go through life in this training ground sort of format of trying to bridge connection and find out what makes other people tick so they can kind of line up with that. And on one side of things, that can be really beneficial. But one thing that anxious preoccupied individuals do have to pay attention to is that they don't end up people pleasing so much to the degree that their means of getting connection from others actually ends up being a form of self abandonment when it comes to their own needs, boundaries, and feelings. Number two, we will often see that anxious preoccupied individuals are very outgoing and friendly. They usually really light up when they're around other people because, to a certain degree, other people represent their ability to get their needs met. So, when they're around other people, especially once they start building that kind of bond or connection, they often feel really in their element, really in the zone, and can really draw people in with that outgoing and friendly sort of nature. And this goes for introverted, anxious, preoccupied individuals as well. They may be less like out there and really trying to connect it in an extroverted manner, but you'll often see that they really have this friendly, kind of charming charisma behind the scenes as they start to have a conversation or engage with somebody even one-on-one. Number three, anxious, preoccupied individuals tend to make everybody feel like they matter. And I find this to be one of the more endearing traits and qualities about an anxious, preoccupied person because they tend to be really good at like honing in on somebody. They really care. And as much as at a subconscious level, they are trying to draw people in because it is like a survival strategy for them to be, connected and not abandoned and to avoid a lot of those core fears and wounds in order to stay safe. They really do truly care about people. And they really care about honing in and trying to connect, and they care about what you're going through and what you need. And that genuine care tends to translate really well. And it's a beautiful quality in anxious preoccupied friendships, romantic relationships, family relationships, and makes people feel like that true connection is really there. Number four, and this sort of goes hand in hand with number three, but anxious preoccupied individuals tend to be really supportive of other people. The vast majority of the time, anxious preoccupied individuals are truly happy for other people's wins, and they really care about how somebody else is doing and what they can do to support them. And they try to speak in all the different love languages when they first meet people, and first form those bonds and relationships. They will do acts of service for people. They will be physically affectionate. They will want to spend quality time with people. They will be very strong at giving words of affirmation. And they're often the individuals who will give little gifts to people upon first meeting them. And that's their way of expressing care and gratitude and really investment in their friendships and relationships. And number five, and this is a really important thing. And by the way, if you see a lot of these traits in yourself, but you're anxious, preoccupied, and you find yourself in this state of doing these things so much or so often or being so hyper focused on them that you end up actually abandoning yourself, a really good course to dive into is our course all about reprogramming anxious preoccupied attachment style. And it will help you be able to really magnify these beautiful qualities that you have, but have healthy boundaries and a healthy relationship to them. So it doesn't actually have a detrimental downside at times, because sometimes we'll see like anxious preoccupieds are so supportive and they make everybody feel like they matter, but sometimes they forget to make themselves feel like they matter as well. Anyways, you can check that course out for free for 7 days using the link in the description down below. And it will really help to just recondition some of those different anxious preoccupied patterns so that it's not the subtraction. It's not you like taking away empathy or care or support from other people. It's you just learning to bring that equal amount of care and support and really companionship into the relationship to yourself by learning to consider your own feelings and needs. So anyways, so you can check that link out below. It's free for 7 days. And last but not least, our fifth quality is that anxious preoccupieds are very thoughtful. They really, when you think of the term thoughtful, I often think of somebody who's like actually taking the time to think of other people, like you're full of thoughts about other people. And anxious preoccupieds are very much like that through nurturing, right? Through all those survival strategies they built to try to connect with other people and that being a huge focal point of their lives. But there's this really, sweet element to that where they spend time thinking about what other people would want or need, or how can they show up for them, or how can they build a relationship with them. And there's this true real thoughtfulness and care behind anxious preoccupieds and how they show up in their relationships. So these are some of the most attractive traits, and these are things that have come to me through many many conversations with people, like when they first start dating, and they'll say, one thing that really attracts me to this person is how outgoing and friendly they are, or how thoughtful they are, or how supportive they are, how much they make everybody in the room feel like they matter. So hopefully this answers a lot of those burning questions. And thank you so much for watching. Please let me know any other comments or questions you have in the discussion down below. And also let me know other traits that you find about anxious preoccupieds that you find to be really attractive or that draw you in. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.